going on, everybody? This is Peter Renna back with another edition of Dollar Bin Digging. To be honest, I was a little worried this week after my pickups at the flea market yielded very little results. I actually did better with $2 books for whatever reason out there this Sunday. So I was considering doing a special $2 edition article. But as luck would have it, I was able to hit a couple of shops on Monday and Tuesday of this week and find a couple of books, actually find a lot of books. So I am plenty stacked with options for this week. So that $2 idea will have to hang on for a little bit longer because, again, as times change and the markets change, I mean, some shops and places, they don't want to just charge $1 anymore. They want to charge $2. And I get it. You know, new release books cost $4 or $5. So if you mark down recent, overstock of books, charging $2 is still a bargain. So there's still plenty of books you can pull out of there. I might throw those books in a pickups video that I also plan to do this week. But for now, I'm just sticking with the dollar bin stuff. So let's just get started there. As I said, I hit up a couple of shops on Monday and Tuesday because I was looking for a very particular book. It was a semi-new release. It was Justice League 27, the B cover. It was Art Adams' Grodd face cover because I really wanted it for a Gorilla book that I needed for a topic that we were doing a show with Mike Mayhew on 3 Comic Monty, which should be dropping on this Friday and the next couple of Fridays. We actually filmed a couple with him, and that was a lot of fun. He's a great guy. Totally underrated artist. But I really wanted that book for Gorillas because I thought I had it. I just couldn't find it, so I figured it would be easy to find at a shop. But actually, it isn't all that easy. Again, I hit up 4 shops, couldn't find it at a single place. But again, I found a bunch of dollar bin books, so that's what we're here for. So that's what we're going to look at right now. So from the 2 shops I believe I hit on Monday, this is what I got. I got these Justice League 12 connecting covers for Ross. It's gorgeous stuff. I think there's a second print that's actually worth quite a bit that combines these 2 images. But I still think these 2 books still do well. And again, just the art alone is pretty awesome. So I was happy to grab those. Also like this Forces of Destiny, Ahsoka and Padme book. Anything with Ahsoka these days is pretty hot, and this is a pretty cool cover. And I don't see this often, so I grab them. I think I have another one around here somewhere, but again, for $1, I'm grabbing that kind of stuff all day. Still keeping up with the random second and later printings, because again, cheap enough, you never know what may pop. So I grabbed this Thanos Legacy second print because I'm a sucker for a good throne cover, and him just chilling out here on this throne was an image that I enjoyed. So again, for $1, I was taking it home. There's Darth Vader 22. I think there's a first Sith appearance, a female Sith in current Marvel Star Wars canon. I can't remember her name, but I'm pretty sure there's something in this book. Plus, it's just pretty cool Hamlet-esque type cover. So again, $1, you're coming with me. You know what? That's a possibility. I like doing Star Wars stuff. I still got to pick 4 out of this group, so I'm randomly going to put a couple aside that might be the 4 that I decided to write about for tomorrow. Next up, I got a little bit of a Jim Lee run. I have these books already, but I am a sucker for Jim Lee, so anytime I see this run of Uncanny, and they're in good condition, I usually grab them just out of habit. I don't know, autopilot. So 273. 274, which I used on Monty for Jungle, even though I did not get credit for Jungle cover there in the Savage Land. And look at Rogue. I'm still holding the grudge, just so you know, Mike and Chris. 275, which is an awesome gatefold cover. This is a book that really, really got me into X-Men back when it was out on the shelves. Like, it was Silver Surfer and Jim Lee on X-Men. And this cover in particular is one that hooked me. Once I saw this, I was in. And I've been in ever since. So that's a decent book. I'm going to put this aside. I don't know if it does anything anymore. Just like this is a first full Bishop, if you want to say full, because he and his crew are on the cover of 282 and their splash page at the end. But this is actually the story that they first really appear in. And it doesn't do as well as 282, but 283 is still a book worth grabbing if you find it for $1. There's a ton of them out there, but again, it's still worth grabbing. What else we got here? Got a What If Wolverine battled Conan. I mean, you can't go wrong with a lot of these what ifs. And this is a fun one, so grab this one. Put that in the maybe pile. Could be fun to write about. Secret Wars 7. Apart from the pretty cool pink cap cover, I think this is a first Jessica Carpenter Spider-Woman in this one, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double check it, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, it says down here in the book, introducing all new Spider-Woman. So, yeah, I think that's what is in this one. So, set that aside, too. Anytime these Moon Knights, I just grabbed Moon Knights from the Moon Knight run again, because I didn't collect Moon Knight back then. And, he's an interesting character. So, some of these, like, some of these covers really just are worth grabbing on their own, but I'm just trying to fill out a run. So anytime I find these things cheap, so this is what, number 4 and number 12, and it's from 1980. So I just grab them because, again, cheap enough, and they don't have to be in perfect condition. These aren't near mint. I mean, these are in cheap boxes, so these are a little banged up. But again, this is for my collection because I just want to have a run. I'll find better copies later if I so desire, but for now, those will do. And speaking of beat up books, I have this beat up Spawn 2, but it's a newsstand, so I said, what the heck? So I grabbed it. Because these Spawn newsstands, especially for number 1, they command quite a premium to some collectors. Again, this thing is beat to hell, but again, for $1, I figured I'd grab it and take my chances. So I'm going to put that in the maybe pile, take a look at it. Just a pretty cool Darth Maul cover, photo cover from Phantom Menace. This is number 3 or 4. I can't remember which one of these issues actually featured his full appearance in the book. It might actually be this one. Yeah, they meet in the desert. But I don't know. Again, $1. I was grabbing it. This is another thing. Again, I mentioned this before about keeping an eye on barcodes. Like, I remembered this cover, but I wasn't sure. But this is actually the incentive variant for this, the Outsiders. I think it might be a 1 in 10. But you can tell by, again, looking at the barcode, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but the 2-1 means this is the second cover, first printing of this book. So this is technically the B cover, but they only had the regular cover and the incentive cover for this book. So this was the incentive cover. It doesn't do a whole lot, but I always grab these DC incentive covers from this range, 09, like these years, because there aren't a lot of them, even with the lower incentive numbers. You don't see them all that much out there in the wild. So I grab them anytime I find them. And then the last book I grabbed in the cheap bins is all this Michael Keaton Spec. This is the newsstand version of this Batman movie special. And again, for $1, I figured, what the heck. It's not in bad shape. It's a square-bound book. It's pretty clean as far as ticks go. But again, it was $1, so I figured I'd take a flyer on it. I'm not sure if I did this book already. I feel like I did. I might have found a Prestige, or maybe I found this before, but I'll put that in the maybe pile. And so I hit up 2 shops, and those are some of the books I grabbed there on Monday while looking for that Grodd book, and I came up empty. So while that was a healthy little stack and gave me some options, I have an even healthier stack from another shop that hit up on Tuesday. So just to give you an idea, this shop sometimes has deals where they'll do a fill-a-bag, and currently the fill-a-bag deal was a fill-a-bag for $35. And it's the new comic book day bags that you can get. So you can stuff that thing with as many books as you want, as what will fit, and it'll be $35. So I grabbed this. So you can see there's more than 35 books here. This is probably closer to 60. If I were to guess, maybe in the 50s. I don't know. But I packed it pretty tight. And these are the books I grabbed and stuffed in my bag. So these are technically less than $1, but they will still count for what we are doing here for our purposes, because these are $1 books that would have cost me $1 individually. I just took advantage of the bargain and grabbed the whole bag for $35. So without further ado, let me show you what I found here, because I did find some good stuff, some interesting stuff in this this set. And I know a lot of people, when they go out digging, they're worried about, when you go to places like flea markets and whatnot, you may worry about other hunters and other diggers finding things before you do, having to get up at the butt crack of dawn to beat somebody to a box or try to rush and cut in front of somebody and really be cutthroat about things. But there's really no need for any of that, because if you're well informed and you're just patient, you will find stuff, because not everybody knows everything. People miss things, and if you're good at what you do, you will still find things. Like these boxes that I hit up on Tuesday had gone through. There was a sale. The shop I was at had a sale over the weekend that I missed, and all these books were out in that sale, out in the parking lot for everyone to find. And this stuff was still there, not only after the weekend sale, but after Monday. And this was come Tuesday, and this stuff was still here. So don't fret. Don't worry about who might have gotten there first. No need to climb in front of people or be cutthroat at the boxes. Just be courteous. Let whoever's in front of you finish. You'll find stuff. Anyway, public service announcement over. First up, we got Flash 139. This was hot for a little bit back when the Flash TV show had that Black Flash death kind of episodes going through. So this run, 3-issue run, I think it was 139, 40, and 41. Yeah, 3 parts. The Black Flash. They heated up for a while, so I don't know if he's still doing anything, but it was still worth a grab for, again, $1. This is a Rick Remender book and Matteo Scalera book that I always wanted to read. Is Black Science. It was #1. Again, it's a little bit of dirt, a little bit of dings on here, but this is Image #1 for, from what I hear, it's a pretty good story, and I just want to check it out. So I figured for $1, I'm grabbing this book, all day. Here's a book I think that actually got optioned. This is the Unlocked Retailer variant. So this is kind of like the FOC cover for Empty Man. This is a Boom book, and I think there's this thing might have been gotten optioned. Something maybe were happening with this book, so I found this, this cover, which is the variant, and I grabbed it. I don't know. I'll take a look into it because, again, I think there's option news, but I'm not 100% positive. Because, again, there's a lot of information out there. It's hard to keep it all in your head, and it's hard to try to keep that kind of information fresh, especially when you're digging. Like, I know the instinct is you want to pull out your phone, you want to use an app, you want to use a list, you want to pull out a piece of paper, you want to tick off everything that you're looking for, look for that hot book. But if you focus too much on looking for specific things, you'll close your mind off to just being open to randomness that you might come across. And one of those things I'm going to show you in a little bit, because I was not looking for this thing and I stumbled across it, and I'm pretty happy to have found it. But we're not there yet. It's somewhere in this stack, but I didn't reach it yet. So next up, I will grab these line covers in case I ever go to a convention and want to get a sketch cover. I figured better to have one and not need it than need one and not have it. So this Red Sonja with the nice blank box there for Red Sonja 25 was worth a grab. I think this is a Hero Initiative book. If you look down here below, so that is something I thought was pretty cool. So I grabbed that. Let's grab this random Overstreet magazine. I don't think this actually does anything or much, but it was interesting. It's almost like a little mini price guide. Overstreet. It came out in I guess it was monthly form. I don't know. I don't really remember this. I was a Wizard guy back when I was younger, so I always got Wizard. I didn't really mess around with comic book price guides and the other price guides and Hero and Hero Illustrated, I think was another one. I got them occasionally, but Wizard was always my thing, so I stuck with that. This book is a little banged up. It might have a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe even a water damage. I don't know. There's a little bit of wave to this cover, but this is a Rick and Morty 4. So this is an early issue, and this is the variant for it. So this is the B cover. And these things were not easy to find and are not easy to find. So even with a little bit of a little damage here, I figured it was worth throwing in the bag for under $1. I mean, I might try to press it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, for less than $1, this was an easy grab for issue 4. I don't know. I'll take a look, see what it's doing. Even beat up. I actually covered this book in Dollar Bin Digging before, I believe. And this is I covered Live Wires because of this book. This David Nakayama cover was really awesome. I believe, I think it was Live Wires I covered because this was the character's first appearance here. I think this is a Gothic Lolita. And this cover is just awesome. Awesome cover. Love it. So even though I know I had one for $1, I'm just grabbing another one. And this one, I know I've probably shown this over various weeks, but every time I see it, I grab it because it's a great cover. First Cyber, I believe, is in this. It's Sam Keith. It's awesome. So again, every time I see it, I'll grab it. So again, I know it's repetitive at times, but I'm not spending a lot of time on it. This was odd to find in there, and this is just a Black Panther 1. I figured, why not? It's #1. I know this run with the intergalactic stuff, it may not be for everybody. I actually dropped off after a little while. I don't know. I just can't keep up with reading everything, and it just wasn't grasping me as much, but I still figured it's #1. Throw it in the bag for, again, less than $1. Let me take a quick sip, because there's a lot of books here. I'm the only one here doing all this talking, so. All right, next up, this is just a cover, strictly cover. This Joe Mad, this Onslaught Reborn. I don't know. It was just a pretty cool cover. This Hulk, Thor battling it out. I don't think this does anything, but it was just a cool cover, so I figured I'm grabbing it. Same thing with this Campbell, also Onslaught Reborn. Just cover I don't recognize. I don't remember seeing this, so I don't know. Random Campbell cover. What the heck? Grabbing it for $1. Because again, I'm a big fan of art and artists, so I will just get a lot of books for that reason alone. Just like this Wolverine Origins #1, this Turner variant. This is just an awesome cover. I think it does like a couple of dollars. I don't know. maybe a $10 to $15 book, maybe at best. I don't know. I have to double check to see if my pricing is still accurate. But again, doesn't matter. I see things like this. I know I have one in here somewhere, but it's always good to have an extra just in case. And it's just a great cover. So, I'll put that in the maybe pile. I'm going to look into it. I remember this number and I remember this cover, and I couldn't exactly remember why. So I grabbed it anyway. And this was a Green Arrow 137. I think this was the return of Oliver Queen when he came back from the dead, possibly in this issue, or this is near the end of the run for this Green Arrow. I don't remember, but this number and this cover stuck out in my head for one reason or another. So I stuck it in the bag. I don't know. I'll put that there for now. I know this Joker stuff, these 3 Jokers things, is also, the talk of the town lately, if you're a DC fan, I guess. So, finding this Justice League 50 was kind of nice for, $1 or less. So if you find them, go ahead and grab them. There's tons of these. I mean, again, this was a heavily printed book. This was a big crossover event, this Dark Side War for DC at the time. And, had Jeff Johns on it. It was heavily promoted and heavily printed. So there's a lot of these. So I wouldn't go paying too much for things like this, especially just because you just want some ancillary introduction to this 3 Joker idea. I mean, it's kind of cool, but again, you can find stuff like this for $1 if you're patient. So just, don't go wasting money you don't have to chasing FOMO. So I don't know. I'm not even going to put that in the maybe pile because I just don't feel like it. I'd rather cover something like this Get Along Gang, #1. I don't know if you guys remember the Get Along Gang, but it caught my eye. Star Comics, that was kind of cool. I'm going to put that in the maybe pile. So no 3 Jokers, Get Along Gang, because that's how I roll. Next up. This book still actually does pretty well, and I was surprised to find it. I kept seeing the other issues near it, and I don't know, if you're like me when you're digging in a box and you start hitting numbers, and you're like, oh, there's, like, say, a Batman Adventures. I've never found a Batman Adventures 12, but you start saying, oh, there's 8, there's 9, there's 11, 13. Damn. You just know that maybe it's in there. I got to keep looking because numbers closer there. So I started seeing Avengers No Surrender books, those red borders. I was like, let me just keep digging and looking, and eventually I did find the 684, which this apparently still does well. I know first Immortal Hulk is kind of a weird thing because, I mean, if he was always immortal, he's just a Hulk. So it's still, first Hulk is still, first Hulk. Not really this, but this is still an awesome cover and the start of a pretty cool storyline. I do like the Alan Ewing run. And again, this book still does pretty well. I'm not going to put it in the pile because this is a book, yes, if you find it for $1, you should absolutely grab it because you can still probably get, $25, $30 for this thing. So, yeah, so, I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably sell this one and get my bag price back, for the whole stack here. But, I don't know. I'm going to put this in the pile over here because what the hell. Next here, I got, again, another run of these second print and later print variants just because, I don't know, it's cheap enough. Again, under $1. I was just throwing them in my bag. So, sticking with the Hulk, Immortal Hulk 1, the 5th print, I don't know, just panels from inside. It's okay. I don't think these things do anything in particular, but who knows down the line. As a scene with like Spider-Gwen, the later issues are popping, and a lot of these books with later issues, just people are going after Edge of Spider-Verse. I think the later printings are also worth things, and Dr. Aphra's and what have you. So maybe a 5th printing of Immortal Hulk 2 will be something one day. I don't know. If so, I'll have one in a box stashed away somewhere. Same thing with this second printer, number 7, that I think was really cool with all the pieces of the Hulk in jars, because I thought that was a really cool part of the story, and to see it on the cover is also kind of cool. So grab that. And the last one I grabbed, because I know the one above all, one below all, I can't remember how you say it, but I think there's a one-shot coming, so getting this, third printing. This is the 3rd printing of number 12. I don't know. You never know. Figure why not throw it in the bag. Let me take another quick sip to prep for the rest of this stack because we still have a healthy bit to go. Again, $35. There's definitely more than 35 books here. I'll try to keep it quick because I know we're getting a little longer than normal, but I found a lot of books. I don't know what to tell you. Hefty week. Invincible Iron Man 1 because, Invincible Iron Man number 1. It's Fraction, La Roca. It's a pretty cool cover. I wasn't leaving it behind. Fit in the bag. I'm getting it. Again, these printings. So I went with these Guardians second prints. This is 7 and 8, I believe. But, just this rocket in the hospital just kind of caught my eye, as did this Gundam kind of inspired cover here, the number 8. I just thought these were both pretty cool. So, again, I was throwing them in the bag. Again, I don't think these sell for much. I don't think there's really anything key that happens in these books. Nothing may never happen, but I don't know. They're interesting, and again, cheap enough. I'll just grab them. But that's also what gets me into this oversized collection that I have, as I grab too many books. Next up, this one I was surprised to find because I have one of these, and I do like these show covers where it's kind of got that like pop art kind of a vibe going to it. I don't know if these were 1 in 20s, 15s, or 10s, but there wasn't. These were incentives, and a lot of the Marvel titles during that month had these. And this is the Doctor Strange again. It's a pretty cool pink cover. I dig it. I thought it was pretty good. Again, if you see any type of variant like this, I would just suggest getting it. Some sell better than others, but I don't know. Whatever catches your eye. I'm not going to put this in the coverage pile because this is kind of an odd find. So if you see a variant like that, an incentive variant, you know it's an incentive variant, you get it for $1, you probably should just grab it because, why not? And this is the book I was kind of hinting towards earlier, where I was not looking for something like this, but sometimes you come across it, even if you don't know what it is, it's sometimes best to just grab it. I was going through and I saw, I think it was like a Star Trek ash can of some kind. I don't know, it was a random ash can of something that didn't really interest me all that much, but right behind it was this Gore Shriek 6.5. And I know Gore Shriek as being, I think, Greg Capullo's first work, I think in the #1. But I didn't know what the heck this was. But again, for $1, I wasn't leaving it behind. I looked up a little bit about it, and this apparently was a giveaway. This wasn't sold in stores, and this is for Gore Shriek fans only. I think artists and the publisher had copies of this, and they gave them away. And it's kind of like an ash can. It's all this black and white, almost newspaper print bits, but there's not a lot of copies of this. I found one copy on Amazon. I found one copy on eBay up for sale, and they're asking quite a bit of money for this thing. I think $1.50. So it's not mine. I'm not selling it. I think this is pretty cool, so I'm keeping it, at least for now. But yeah, so if you see this on there, you look it up. This thing, this is hard to find. So I'm going to put this in here because I think I want to research it a little bit more. I think it'd be fun to write about that one. So I might put that one in the 4 for this week because, again, oddities. So you see something that looks odd to you. Maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was some weird promo giveaway for some, food snack, and you didn't know what the heck is this. Some of that stuff's hard to find. So I'd always err on the side of caution and just take it home. Cheap enough, just take it home. I mean, what are we going to do? Grab another Youngblood 2? Something like that? First profit? Who cares? Here's the, this I just thought was kind of cool because I like the idea of seeing art. Because again, I'm a fan of art. So this Michael Turner, it's almost like an uncolored, unfinished version of Fathom, like inside. I don't know if you can see a little bit of it. So there, there's word bubbles and there's almost like penciled art. It's basically unfinished. It's uncolored, but just seeing that art just really shows you how good he was. And he, unfortunately left us too soon, but I'm still a fan. And again, as I showed you before, I'll grab Turner books when I see him out there because I still like his work. Next up, we have Night Watch. Whether you want to go with 97 or 99, I found them both, so I grabbed them both. Again, I know there were rumors that Spike Lee was going to do a movie or something based on Night Watch. Who knows if that ever comes to pass, but I don't know. Still find these things out there. I will still pick them up because people will still buy them, especially if you have the 2. Because, there'll be arguments over which one's the first, and first as Night Watch or first just as the character. I don't even remember his name. It's Kenneth something, I think. But regardless, 97 and 99, A Web of Spider-Man are the 2 you would keep an eye out for. That, and I think 86 is Demi-Goblin, so that's another one. In that kind of range you want to look out for. If you find a Web of Spider-Man run, that is. All right, we still got a little bit more to go. Almost done. I believe the next book, Infamous Iron Man #1, I think this is the first hologram Tony Stark. So I don't know if that's your thing. You can grab one of these. I think it's in this book. I'm not 100% positive this is the first of it, but I know this is why this book sold for a little bit at a time. I just kind of dig the cover, and I used to have it, and I think I sold it when this got hot for a little bit, so I don't have it anymore. So finding another one was good enough for me, just for the cover alone. This Doctor Doom as Iron Man. It's a cool idea, and that's a cool cover. Again, Turner. And apparently this came originally from Midtown. It's Thor #1 Turner cover. I think this is volume 3, but it's awesome image. I mean, again, just for the art, I was grabbing it. This is a one-shot Joker's daughter. I don't know. I heard his character might be heating up a little bit with his Joker war coming. I don't know. But figured throw it in the bag. Again, it's whatever I can fit in the bag. This fit, so put it in there. Another thing you should keep an eye out for are these Steam variants. Some of these books, this is the Champions one, where, you know, this is, what's it, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So they had these covers with some of these younger characters, you know, kind of promoting, you know, this is for schools. I think Moon Girl had a Steam cover, and maybe Riri, I don't know. But some of the younger Marvel characters had them. So this is the Champions one. This is Champions number 2. And it's interesting little variant. It wasn't incentivized. I don't know if it was a qualifying variant, but it was a cover that was out there. So keep an eye out. You know what? I'm going to see what it does. Grab it. This was just a weird Virgin Foil Street Fighter. I was like, it's Guile. I don't know what this is, but I was just grabbing it because it just caught my eye. It's shiny. And shiny things sometimes catch your eye. So grab that one. Well, Jessica Cruz, 30, 31. Anytime I see them, you grab them. You don't always find them both. So if you find them separately, you can pair them up. And you can make your first cameo appearances of her. Power Ring. So you got 30, 31, Green Lantern, 20, the 3. She's got a lot of first appearances. So grab them if you see them. I think I wrote about that one already, and if not, I don't feel like it right now, so we're not putting that in the pile. This is just a pretty cool Darwin Cook variant. I believe he's done a couple of runs of doing DC covers, and they are all worth grabbing if you find them just for the art alone. I mean, this is sweet. I know, I dig it. So I just got that just for the art. I don't think it sells for much, but it's not always about how much things sell for. It's not always about profits. It's not always about the values. It's what you value. And me, again, I value art, so a lot of these things just have, you know, intrinsic value to me because of that. Another thing here is another retailer incentive cover for G.I. Joe. Don't know the ratio. It's probably like a 1 in 10. I don't know. I saw the RI, just like the barcodes on DCs. You look for the RI on IDWs, and that's usually the retailer incentive. You'll find it like on the Turtles books and whatnot, because they'll usually just have I think it might say regular or nothing, may not have anything. Then you might see sub, and that's usually the B cover, and then occasionally you'll see the RI for the retailer incentive. So again, incentive book for less than $1, I was grabbing it. And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool Snake Eyes. But I'm gonna put that over there. Well, another second print in Secret Invasion. Who knows if we see this storyline covered in Captain Marvel 2. It's rumored for Captain Marvel 1. It's been rumored forever that we might see the Skrulls in Secret Invasion. Who knows? I don't know. It was a second print, so I just grabbed it. I mean, it's not a great cover. It's just kind of a nondescript grouping of characters in the background. Like, this would have been probably a tiny panel from inside, but I don't know. Again, it fit in the bag. A zombie variant for Runaways. Thought it was kind of cool, so I grabbed that. I already have this, I believe, but again, just grabbed it. Just a nifty, bizarre cover. I liked Ed McGuinness's run on Superman. I thought he fit the character, so I like seeing his bulky, oversized, muscle-bound, almost balloon-inflated Superman. Same thing with Bizarro here, but I dig it. Big chin and all, so I just grabbed this one. Granoff, Nova 1. Again, I know that book does all right, too. I know I have one, but I'm not leaving number 1s like that behind, just like I don't leave behind any Wonder Woman Hughes covers. If I see one, I'm grabbing it, especially for a cheap price. And, yeah, this armor, as was seen in the trailer, it's this could make this book heat up a little bit. I know Kingdom Come, I think, is when she first rocked this outfit, but I dig it on this Hughes cover, so I don't know. Put it to see if that does anything more than anything else. I think I've did these next two before. This is, I think, Excalibur 57 and 58. I think this is Joe Mad's first Marvel work, maybe? It's at least his first on Excalibur. Again, I like grabbing artists first, if possible. And I'm pretty sure this is Mad's first. And, I mean, if you look at it, this is clearly, you can see his Art Adams inspiration on the team here. You know, it's before he went more with his manga kind of like style. Manga, if I'm mispronouncing it. But I think I covered those before. And last book I got here is just a pretty cool Batman book. This Death in the Family 14. You know, again, all things Joker right now. I figured it was worth just sticking in the stack. So that's all I got. As you can see, that was a lot. But hopefully I got enough books here. Yeah, there's a healthy stack. I mean, even whittle down to try to get to 4. But yeah, so I'm going to go do that now. Write up my article for tomorrow. So please, go to comicbookinvest.com. Address is right there below. I left it up the whole time. So you guys remember, that's where you find these articles. And I also have the video posted there as well as on my own YouTube. If you follow that or want to follow that. I don't do a lot on my YouTube. I do a lot of videos on the Tales from the Flip Side channel with some of the shows like 3 Comic Monty that I mentioned. And we have a new one with Mike Mayhew, again, dropping on Friday. So please check that out because he's a really great guy. And it was a really fun time to hang out and just talk comics. It's not like an interview. We're not, trying to, we just are hanging out, just showing our books like normal. Like it was just one of us showing his books, the books that he picked for these topics that he chose of. And we have gorillas coming up, so you're going to see me and the guys. I'll show our best gorilla covers. And again, that's on the Flip Side channel. But on my own channel, I just do my dollar bin stuff and just pickups because that's not for everybody. But if anybody's interested, you can check it out here. And again, I have pickups from some mail calls that I got of some pretty cool stuff. I got a nice Dave Stevens lot that I'm really happy to have grabbed. So I don't know. If you want to check it out, come check it out. Otherwise, I will see you guys later.